President Trump signed the $900 billion COVID relief package on Sunday after threatening to scuttle the bill that included 1.4 trillion in funding for government agencies expected to last till September next year. Though the media has been busy portraying the last minute signing by Trump as his defeat, the reality is Trump won the messaging war against the GOP and the Democrats. In the eyes of the country, or at least a major portion of the country, Trump wanted to reduce wasteful expenditure, increase checks sent to average Americans from $600 to $2,000, but the Republicans and the Democrats did nothing, pushed him to sign it, which he waited until the last minute to see if they will do anything. Since they didn't, Trump signed it reluctantly. That's the message he has, and it is the only winning hand in Washington, D.C. No one is going to take a peek under the hood to see even the $600 check that was supposed to deliver support to people in need is a poorly crafted bill. We could have done a lot better than what we have on the table. We should have. So, who gets the payment? Individual adults with an adjusted gross income of up to $75,000 a year will get the $600 payment. Households making up to $112,500 or a couple who make $150,000 a year will get $1,200. For every child in the house, add another $600. Now the question to the Congress, Senate and the President is this. Now why does anyone who paid tax get these checks? Are they the ones in need? Really? A good portion of a lot of these people thankfully still have a job. Why send $1,800 to a family of three where both the husband and wife are working and making more than $10,000 a month? Can we instead double or triple the payment to a family of three where both the husband and wife lost their jobs due to COVID and are still struggling to find one? Why pay someone who managed to keep his monthly cash flow steady over the last 3 months when instead we could pay a lot more to someone who saw his cash flow turn negative in the last 3 months? Can we send more money to business that hire people instead of doling out forgivable loans to businesses that have no plan to hire? How hard that is going to be? All you have to do is look at the payroll expense, see how high it goes, and proportionally direct deposit cash into the business. No one in Washington seemed to be bothered with these details because it was simple and easy to agree that something that had a slab. No one has to do the yards in finding out which group needs more and which group needs less and what kind of a voting bloc they are. I'm not saying that the bill does nothing, because it does. As it sends money to everyone who paid tax in 2019, my issue is this the best we can do to address the ones who deserve help? It does not. Part of the reason why lawmakers may have been a bit lazy to do the additional yards was the $300 per week unemployment checks that are going out till March 14th. Since that is going to be on the one side, creating a floor of support for anyone who lost their job and filed for unemployment benefits, the lawmakers took the easy route in calculating who gets the $600 checks. And there is another function that these checks do. It injects money into the economy through the hands of the people. Of course, a lot of them will save it for their rainy day, but even then, a good portion of it will come back into the economy, helping the struggling country and also making sure that the recession is not too deep and wide. So we get it why you did it, but once again, is this the best that can be done? To be fair to lawmakers in DC, a lot of them complained that the 5,000 plus page bill was presented to them in the last minute and they were asked to vote on it in 2 hours. Another trick that is regularly deployed by big names in DC. They negotiate in secret, get all their pet projects stuffed inside the bill, and force the Congress and the Senate to sign it or stand accused for hurting the country. So a handful of Republicans and Democrats do this all the time. This is what the NY Times reported about the things that are in the bill. Please don't be surprised. The items jammed into the bill are varied and at times bewildering. The bill will make it a felony to offer illegal streaming services. One provision requires the CIA to report back to Congress on the activities of Eastern European oligarchs tied to President Vladimir Putin. The federal government would be required to set up a program aimed at eradicating the murder hornet and to crack down on online sales of e-cigarettes to minors. It authorizes 93 acres of federal lands to be used for the construction of Teddy Roosevelt Presidential Library in North Dakota and creates an independent commission to oversee horse racing, a priority for Senator Mitch McConnell. So there you go, it pays to be a big name in DC, isn't it? Next time there is another Trumpian candidate who promises to drain the swamp and wins, please don't complain. You all know how it happened and why there is an extremely good chance for something like that to happen again. And let us not blame the GOP for this plan and President Trump. The Democrats share every bit of the responsibility for thrusting this plan on the country. Thanks for watching. If you like it, please subscribe.